YouTube, this is Dave, and I'm coming with another idea for you around SharePoint and M365. One of the things that we have available to us in every single document library is the alert, and yet is the most forgotten thing on the planet that a lot of people actually want to use and don't realize it's even there and it's available. It's kind of like hidden in plain view. So let's jump right into it and take a look. All right, here we are in the M365's document library. As you can see, this is the lessons team that we created in an earlier video. Hopefully you guys remember this. We've got a bunch of documents in here. We're currently at the root. We can see the folder general for the general channel that comes with the Microsoft team. By the way, I'm going to be doing another video to let you know, yes, you can indeed change that first channel name now. It's no longer has to be general. Something really exciting, something that a lot of people has been asking Microsoft for, and it's finally come through. I digress. Let's get back to what we were talking about, and that's alerts. So depending on where you are in the document library is going to depend on what the alert's going to do for you. When you're at the root, it means you're going to have an alert for the entire document library. So in this case, if I go to the ellipses up here at the top, and I can see all the different things, one of the things is the alert me. We're going to jump into that, but let's actually kind of talk about the scope. What is a scope? If I come down here to general, here's a folder down here. Well, let's go and hit the three dots again. We have all different things available. One of the biggest things is the alert me function here. This is for the folder. This means the scope of this alert is specific to this specific folder. In this case, the general channel folder is going to be the one that actually is going to be watched. That's pretty impressive as far as once you understand the scope and what you're asking for, these alerts can be absolutely powerful and something that your team can use to your benefit to help speed up your processes, as well as to save time in heartache, if you will, because of the fact that you understand what's being changed, who's being changed by, etc., and so forth. And lastly, let's go down to a document level. We got our project plan here. Let's select this. Let's go over here, and as you can see, there's a lot here, but here's the alert me as well. So if I click on the alert me, guess what? Same thing, same concept, but the scope is specific just to the document. In a case like this, you'll probably be doing something that is a very time-sensitive document. For example, you're late to the party to fill out an RFP, or a request for proposal document, and it's got to be due within 2 days, and it's usually a 5 to 10 day business process. That's crazy, but you're like, you know what? We can save the time. We're going to work in parallel. We're going to work on this document together. And as the owner of this team, I have the ability, and I'll show this to you a little bit later in this video. I'm going to assign everyone who's a part of my team that is working on this RFP an alert, an immediate alert, and that way we can work on this fast. They know when I've done the financials, and then John Smith from IT can put his piece in as far as the technology section and so forth and so on, and so we can see who's finishing at what and who's made changes and all that good stuff. That is something that the alert is absolutely phenomenal for doing. As long as you understand the business functionality, because let's face it, who needs another email in their inbox? So there's things that I'm going to show you, best practices, tips, and tricks as well as I go through the rest of this video. But I wanted you to understand the scope. The scope is by far the most important thing. If you do not understand what you're signing up for in the alert and where you're doing this, that could end up either just messing you up, or you're going to be missing information that you were hoping to receive. So let's keep going now. In this case, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I'm going to sign up alert for the entire library. So let's go into the alert me. And let's go ahead. So as you can see, alert me when items change. That's just the name of the alert. Don't be alarmed. It's going to show you where it is. It's in the document library called Documents. Here I am, Redwood. And let's see here. I can also add others in here as well. So if I wanted to, and remember how I said with the concept around the RFP approach. This is a document. It has to be done. It has to be done by my team. We have 2 days on a 10-day project. We need to hurry things up. We need to run things in parallel. Well, the way to do it is I would actually put. So let's see Birch, Birch. No, Birch, I think it's like, yeah, there we go, Birch Bark. So I could add Birch Bark, the president, because he needs to sign off on this RFP if this was the RFP. Not the case right now. We are at the library level. We do not want to send that many emails, especially to the president. Just saying. I'll be end up flipping burgers in Sheboygan by the end of the week if he got that many emails. He's busy. Doesn't need that. So for right now, let's just keep it to myself. Whoops. There we go. So here we are at Redwood, and then the delivery method. In some cases, you may or your IT department may have actually included text messages, SMS. Kind of up in the air, especially with the security where it's at currently. A lot of companies have turned it off because of concerns with the security, things getting out of hand or just out in general. So it's something to kind of keep in mind. So you may or may not have text message in this case. And for this video, I'm specifically talking about the email. Change type. What kind of changes? Do you want just the new items are added? Do you want just existing items that are modified, or just items are deleted? Each of them have their own value and benefit. However, what is the case? What are you trying to accomplish here? For someone I'm going to pretend I'm a general manager for the team, I just kind of want to be in the know what's going on, what's coming, and what's going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it at all changes. Okay, so down here, send me alert when, and then you can say when the alert is going to be triggered by anyone who makes changes, so when someone else makes changes, only if something that I've created, only something that I last modified. It all depends. You can play around with it. I usually leave both the change type as well as the send alerts for these changes at the default setting, all changes and anything changes. You can always play around with that, but honestly, you might end up, and for me, I fear that I might end up missing something if I don't do it, leave it at the all. But then again, maybe the only thing you're concerned about is somebody messing around with the stuff that you've created. If that's the case, then that, so be it. Lastly, and this is the most important thing that a lot of people don't realize, it actually starts at send notification immediately. Not for an entire document library. Are you kidding? Let's just go ahead and do the forehead slap right now, because honestly, that is not what you want. You are going to, if this is a busy document library where people are constantly making changes to documents, where people are uploading documents constantly, moving documents around, editing just the metadata that's attached to the documents, you are going to have a nightmare. Your inbox is going to fill up within just a matter of hours. So you probably do not want that. However, in the case that I gave you with the single document RFP, yes, send a notification immediately is absolutely on the table, and most likely in a case where you have a time-sensitive document that has to get out before people are even allowed to go home, because that's how important this document is. This could, quadruple your revenue for the quarter, and within a matter of 2 decisions. Yeah, you're going to probably want to make sure that gets out the door on time. And if it's only 2 days, and you got a system that usually takes 10 days to build something like that, you're going to want the immediate notifications. Now, for me, here's where the best practices come in. I'm a general manager. I just want to kind of keep an eye on things. I personally like to use a daily summary and then have it send out around 3 p.m. You can see it's actually set up to that because I have other alerts that are actually used in 3 p.m. It kind of learned from what I usually do. Why is that? Because before the end of the day, I'll get changes from 3 p.m. from the prior day to 3 p.m. today, so that before I walk out the door at 5 p.m. this afternoon, I'll have this little nice syllabus of what has changed, and actually I'll be able to actually go, okay, yes, no, yes, yes, no, okay, and I can actually have time. So let's say, for example, I see a white paper has been changed by somebody, and they are new to the group, and they're trying really hard to fit in, but they didn't realize that the final approval of that document has already gone to the president. We don't want to make changes to that unless we have a clear understanding as to why the changes need to be made, and because we're going to have to go back to the well and ask the president to sign off on it again. It's not a problem, but at least it gives me an alert saying, hey, somebody made a change to this document you may want to take a look at really quick. So I'm going to run out there, I'm going to do it, and that's going to be a good thing. Also, for those of you who might be a general manager but are not really as concerned, sure, you want to see the Reader's Digest of what's going on in the document library, but you don't want to have to deal with it on the daily, on the reg. That's too much. It's kind of big brotherish to you. That's not a problem. Go with a weekly summary. Figure, you know, in this case, I would say probably Friday at 3. Or I would probably say Friday at 1 because my brain checks out usually by 4. No, I kid. Sort of. But kidding aside, anyways, so the weekly summary is something that you can do as well. Again, a best practice, you just kind of keep an eye on things. You want to see what's happening, what your team is working on over a course of time. That is a way to do it as well. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and keep it on this, and then let's go ahead and, you know what, let's see, just so I can actually do it and have my future self actually make changes, let's have this come at me at 8 o'clock tonight, just so that I can do it. Don't worry, hey, future me, don't forget, we're going to have to send this. So just saying. All right, reining it back in. So let's go ahead and create this alert. I think I'm pretty happy with this. So let's go ahead and hit OK. It's kind of buried down here. I've blown this up so that you guys can actually read what I'm looking at, because you guys have left some really great comments saying, hey, the screen share is an eye chart. So I'm trying to fix that. So things are getting a little bit squished, but at the same time, I think it'll be a little bit better for the YouTube video. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, click OK, and off it goes. And so I'm going to get an email shortly in the email box saying, hey, you signed up for an alert, and so we're all set. So let's actually make some changes. So I'm going to go into general for one reason only. We got a bunch of documents in here. Let's go ahead and add a document. Give me 1 second. Okay, 1 second. All done. Oh, movie magic, I'll tell you. So here's a really bad document. So I'm going to put this really bad document, drop it in here. So that actually is going to send an alert, or it's going to want to send an alert. Now it's going to be at 8 o'clock tonight, but you get the idea. The reason why is a creation of a new document. So that is something that is new, that has a change to the document library. So there is going to be an alert wrapped around that. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually look at this document. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you for just a moment. I'm going to come back as Birch Bark, the president, and let's see what we can do. We're going to make some changes to it. Then what we'll do is we'll then switch it back to Redwood, and then we'll go on from there. So, ready? Toodaloo, toodaloo. Okay, I'm now in as Birch Bark. You can see up here in the top right corner the double B's for Birch Bark. And so we're going to go in, we're going to take a look at a really bad document here. Let's actually make some changes to it. So let's open that up. There we are. That's nice, real nice. Oh, thank you. I'm glad we're private. Okay, so here we are. Here's my really bad document that I created generically. I happen to have something that we could make this a little bit better. So let's go ahead and do this, and let's see here. No. Da, 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 da. All right, you know what? For sake of time, rand, let's do a number 5, and there we go. So 5 random ones, there we go. We've made some changes to it. So now it's going to be a semi-bad document. Semi-bad document, there we go. I think we're done here. And we can see it's already changed. See, last save just now. All right, and just like that, I've made a change. Now here's why I did that. That's going to send another alert. Somebody made a change to a document in the document library that Redwood has signed an alert for. So now I'm going to be able to see that that change has been made, and it'll actually show there as well. So let's go ahead and let's jump back to Redwood and continue on this this journey, if you will. And welcome back. I am, as you can see from the top right corner, Redwood once again, and so far so good. Let's go into general one more time, and we're going to see about a minute ago, Birch Bark has made a change to the really bad document. Technically, it should, he just made the change to the title. He told me about it, but hey, because at the end of the day, I've gone over it. There is no help for this document. It truly is a bad document. It's horrible. In fact, let's take a moment. Yeah, forget the moment of silence. Let's just get rid of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a little check. We're going to go ahead and say, no, thank you. We're good. This is the worst I've ever seen. So, wait. Oh, there it is. Delete's up here. Missed it by that much. Let's go and hit the delete key. And yes, I'm sure. Send it to the recycle bin. There is no hope for it. Deleted one item from general. So there you have it. Okay. Hey, future self, if you would, please. Right. Yeah, that just happened. Anyways, back to alerts. So one of the things that you're going to notice in this email, that it actually shows the fact that we have created a new really bad document.docx up there at the top. I'll label that number 1. Then we have Birch Bark edited at 4:01 p.m. That's number 2A, because one of the things you'll find that it automatically saves as you go along. So it's going to have multiple saves, because that way you don't lose any of the work that you've done. So then we have edited yet again a minute later for Birch Bark B. And then down there a few minutes later, Redwood came back in and said, you know what, we're good with that, and we deleted a really bad document.docx. So you can see we should have probably in this demonstration actually done more on other ones as well, but it's going to be the same thing. Once a really bad document, all the changes that was made to that specific one, whether new, edited, or deleted, then we're going to go ahead and have the next document followed by the next document, so forth and so on, and they tell their friends and so on, and so, okay, you get the idea. Long and the short of it, alerts are an extremely powerful tool. Do not forget to use them. It's a great way to keep in the know, whether it's just a summary like this one that we're looking at right now, or something a little bit more serious where you're in the crunch time for a deadline. Everyone's working on the same document in parallel, and you don't have a moment to spare. You do not have a DeLorean. You're not going back. You're not passing go. You're not collecting $200. That is it. So this is something to kind of keep in mind. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, a subscribe, and hit that little notification bell. Let me know how I did in the comments below as well. Thanks, and I'll see you again in the next video.